Good evening, and I'd like to talk with you about how to foster more American innovation. If the United States is to be competitive in a rapidly changing global economy, we have to bolster our nation's science, technology, engineering, and math workforce, also known by the acronym STEM. America's classrooms need more STEM educators and resources to better prepare students for a STEM economy. And American students need more after-school and summer opportunities for hands-on learning and discovery in STEM activities. If we truly care about our kids, we'll fully prepare them to meet the economic challenges posed by a complex international economy in the 21st century. We will put these American kids first. While that approach appropriately takes the long view, America also needs scientists, technologists, engineers, and mathematicians now, and it takes many years to train them. The leaders of tech firms maintain it is sometimes difficult to find qualified employees. The fact is, students from all over the world come to the United States and pay tuition to our universities so they can be trained in STEM disciplines. A good number of them want to adopt America as their country. They become attracted to our spirit of innovation, our way of life, the freedoms enshrined in our Constitution, and the business opportunities our country provides. It's somewhat similar to what attracted my ancestors, and perhaps yours, to take a huge risk to come to our country decades ago and strive for success here in America. But because of the way our dysfunctional immigration system is set up, our schools make a big investment in these students and then send them back to their countries of origin, where they try to do there what they wanted to do here. They invent, start businesses, and create jobs. In other words, many of these very talented individuals, when they are required to leave by the U.S. government, either end up becoming America's direct competitors or go to work for our overseas competitors. For America, this does not make sense. Indeed, the American economy would be better off if these immigrants were available to stay here and work for our companies, instead of heading home to India, Brazil, China, and elsewhere to compete against us. Consider these statistics. More than 1/4 of U.S. tech and engineering businesses started between 1995 and 2005 were launched by an immigrant. In 2006, nearly 1/4 of the international patents filed from the United States were based on the work of immigrants, more than half of whom received their highest degree from an American university. In 2005, U.S. companies started by immigrants produced $52 billion in sales and employed 450,000 workers. Andrew Grove of Intel is a great example of a STEM immigrant who made an enormous contribution to the American economy. In 1957, Grove put his life on the line to flee communist Hungary to come to the United States. He graduated first in his class in engineering from the City College of New York, then earned a PhD in chemical engineering from the University of California. In 1968, Grove became the third employee of Intel. He later became its president, then CEO, and finally its chairman. Under Grove's leadership, Intel became the largest semiconductor chip manufacturer in the world. And at last count, Intel had more than 45,000 employees in the U.S. Let's welcome the next Andrew Grove, who wants to come to America. And let's welcome the thousands of other STEM students who aspire to his success and who have the education and skills to invent new technologies here and create new businesses here. To do that, America needs a law called the STEM Jobs Act. This act would make green cards available annually to foreign graduates of American universities with advanced STEM degrees. These STEM green cards would replace some of the 55,000 diversity visas currently awarded by lottery to those who may not have the knowledge and skills needed to contribute to our economy. Liberals in Congress strongly oppose replacing any of the diversity visa lottery. They contend that the STEM bill is too narrow. It doesn't meet their objectives of comprehensive immigration reform. But the STEM Jobs Act is just the kind of targeted legislation we need. It sees an obvious problem and fixes it. Meanwhile, other major immigration reform provisions, such as securing the border, must be implemented. The President and liberals in Congress would reject the world's best and brightest who want to come here and rely instead on a totally random lottery to decide who gets to stay in the United States. The current diversity visa is not in the best interest of the country. It's based on luck, not on the needs of American citizens or the American economy or family reunification. Speaking of reunifying families, one other provision of the STEM Jobs Act enables husbands, wives, and young children of immigrant workers to stay with their loved ones in the U.S. while they wait for their own green cards. More than 320,000 family members of lawful permanent residents are waiting on backlogged lists to join their spouses or parents in America. It's only right that we should reunify these families. In the end, replacing at least some of the current luck of the draw with a pool of high-skilled science and tech whizzes encourages the world's best and brightest to give their talents to America instead of someone else. And it incentivizes them to use their knowledge and skills to improve our society and our economy instead of some other countries. We should want that. A big country like ours, with more than 310 million people, can certainly find room for a modest number of highly talented, legal immigrants to help us grow our economy and create jobs here. The STEM Jobs Act moves us in the right direction.